All right, welcome back. Time to talk a little playoff hockey. We're now joined by Arthur Staples, senior writer for The Athletic, covering the Rangers and the Islanders. Arthur, great to see you. Thanks for the time tonight.
You got it, Mark. Anytime.
You got it. Rangers did what everyone expected, right? Swept away Washington in the opening round. How positive, though, is the performance of Mika in the 4 games with a goal and 6 assists?
You obviously like to see that. There was a lot of questions during the regular season. Is he up to the usual standards? It sort of seemed like for a long stretch, Vincent Trocheck was their #1 center, doing a lot of the things that Zibanejad has done in past years. But Mika's had some big moments in the playoffs. You think back to a couple of years ago during the conference final run, the way he turned it on when they were down 3-1 against Pittsburgh. This is a guy who's been there for them for a long time. They were obviously lights out on special teams, maybe not as dominant 5-on-5 against an inferior Caps team, but it doesn't matter. They got the sweep. They look good doing it, and one of their best players looked great in that series.
Arthur, you actually saw a little physicality from Artemi Panarin as well, along with a couple of goals. Big-time key here for this Ranger team moving forward and what they hope is a deep playoff run?
Yeah, I don't think they need him to be the 120-point guy he was in the regular season. I think everybody else needs to maybe raise their game a little bit offensively, which you saw with their power play. Kreider was good. Adam Fox was involved. Trocheck was excellent, maybe their best forward in that first round. But I think anything Artemi Panarin can do to be involved, and I think that hit was important in just hitting TJ Oshie and kind of waking everybody up. Maybe woke himself up, too. He had a really good Game 4. Obviously, he's got a little bit of a break now. It's going to get tougher when they play Carolina, the Islanders, as they keep going forward, better defensive teams. So it's good. You want to see him raise his game, and you want to see him do whatever he can do to be effective.
Arthur, Rangers, they had 10 different goal scorers in this series sweep against Washington. What about the depth of this team that was put together by their president, Chris Drury?
I think you're seeing some of those deadline moves that maybe we didn't see have the kind of impact. Jack Roslovic had a couple goals point in every game. Alex Wenberg had a good, his line with Capo Caco and Will Cooley, really strong defensively. They're going to need them to match up against some elite lines as they keep going forward here. But I think the Roslovic, his play was really encouraging. Some good on the power play, really nice goal to put them ahead in Game 2. You want to see that. He was kind of an afterthought pickup at the deadline, and maybe not the guy you thought would fill that spot with Zibanejad and Kreider at 5-on-5. But again, it's all about getting the wins. It's all about being effective. You don't really worry about the data over the long haul. There's just not enough games. So you want to see those guys make an impact, and they certainly have.
All right, Arthur, let's turn our focus over to the Islanders. Tomorrow night, a Game 5 down in Raleigh. Do you expect that series to end tomorrow night?
It's an uphill climb. The Islanders did win Game 5 in this situation last year when they were down 3-1 in Raleigh. It is a great atmosphere down at PNC Arena. The fans down there really go for it. It's changed a lot over the years since Carolina's gotten good. But this Islander team has shown a lot of moxie over the last few years when they're on the verge of elimination. You can think back to Anthony Beauvillier's goal that closed down the Coliseum in Game 6 in 21. They won a couple of elimination games before they got bumped out in the bubble playoffs. And it's really a lot of the same core guys. So, I think they're feeling at ease. They're feeling like they want to keep this going. They may not have as much skill as Carolina, but you see the way they fought to get the win in double overtime in Game 4. This is a team that doesn't want this ride to end because there could be some changes coming. So we'll see if that helps them in Game 5.
All right, I would love to see Rangers Islanders next round. But in all likelihood, Arthur, we're going to get Rangers Carolina in the next round. Can you give our audience a little bit of what that round 2 preview would be and matchup?
Carolina does what they do. If you're even a Ranger fan, maybe you want to take a peek on tomorrow night and see what Carolina does. They're so effective. They run through their 4 lines, through their 6 defensemen. Everybody plays the same style. It's really effective when it works. But I think you found back in 22, that Rangers series when they won Game 7 down there, Carolina maybe doesn't have that next level to go to. They added Jake Gensel. They've got some really good scorers. Seth Jarvis is a really good young player. Sebastian Aho is their leader, and he's been excellent. You've got veterans like Jordan Stahl, Brent Burns. But do they have that level to get to? And certainly when you talk about goaltending, Freddie Anderson's been a really nice story coming back from the blood clots that cost him most of this season. He's been really good in this series against the Islanders. But is he the Igor Shesterkin's level? Probably not. You could even say definitely not. So I think the Rangers' star players, if they get to that next level, you wonder if Carolina can match it. And when things start to go a little haywire for Carolina, can they pull it together? Because they do one thing very well, which is attack and throw pucks at the net. But I don't know if they can adapt within a series to playing a different style.
Arthur, thanks for joining us, and hopefully we talk again during the playoff season as the Rangers move on. Maybe the Islanders as well. Always great talking a little hockey. Arthur, appreciate the time.